ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
वेत्तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अथ ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोति मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततः मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यथात्मवान् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागं त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यथात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नोद्विजते लोकः लोकान्नोद्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो ह्यस्य स मे प्रियः।
Clarification. Reference chapter 12, verses 6 and 7. Everything is his as bhakti, and everything is him as jnanam have been mentioned by you. Sir, could you please help with a similar statement for karma? Would offering all efforts to him be correct? Clarification. Based on the statement, everything is his and everything is him is bhakti and jnanam is mentioned. Clarification. Could you please help with a similar statement for karma? Would offering all efforts to him be correct? Ram Subramaniam. Offering all actions to God. Dedicating all actions to God, offering all actions to God, we have seen. any number of times. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Offering all actions to God. If you are not dedicating your actions to God, you are only doing karma. For karma to come into karma yoga, when does karma, which is action, will turn into karma yoga? Only when divine is brought in. How do you understand this? How do you even understand? How can I offer the karma to God? How can I offer all actions to God? For example, I'm going to work on a project, or I'm sweeping, or I'm writing a letter, or I'm talking. All these are various actions. What does this mean when we say dedicate all actions to God? What does it mean? Dedicating all actions to God means this. Until you complete your action, you have control over your action. Again, I repeat. Karmanyevadhikaraste. Until you complete your action, you have control over your action. And once the action is completed, what had happened now? As long as you are doing the action, you have control over the action. Without getting the mind distracted, all that. You have control over your action. Now the action is complete. As soon as the action is complete, what happens? The action that you have completed has become part of the universe, as it were. And the universe is none other than God. And the universe is none other than God. It means what? The action that you have completed according to the universal laws, according to the laws of the universe, the God will give you a result. And when God gives you a result, and what will be the nature of that result? The result will be appropriate. The result will be justful. Are you able to follow till now? You will do an action, and there will be an appropriate result, and that appropriate result, and the result will be appropriate, and it will be justful according to your according to what? According to what? According to your current action in the backdrop of you as a person. Remember that. Are you able to follow? According to the current action in the backdrop of you as a person. Because you as a person is doing an action. For example, sweeping. Take an example of action, sweeping. You as a person is performing the action of sweeping. Now the result must come to you. On what basis the result will come to you? Is it just the act of sweeping alone? Are you just an isolated karta of sweeper alone, or there is a background to you? Answer. There is a backdrop to you. So all the results that comes to you will take into what factors it will take into consideration? The backdrop plus the current action. Are you able to follow? The backdrop plus the current action. What you know and what you don't know. The current action you know. The backdrop you don't know. Vijayarangan. Sir, class ஆரம்பிக்கும்போதே why are you starting like this? Why are you starting like this in the beginning only? So in this, You know only the current present action you have done, you know. What you don't know? Your backdrop, your background, what we call as the jiva, the vasana, all put together. Therefore, the result will come to you based on the universal, the universal law of karma, which is appropriate and justful. Therefore, when you are doing the action, you are doing the action as a dedication to the universe, to God, and whatsoever result comes is blessed by God. Therefore, dedication is an attitude that you bring into your action. Dedication is a mental attitude. Bhavana it is. Dedication is a mental bhavana that you bring into your action. What is the mental bhavana attitude that you bring into your action? Doing is under your control. What is doing under your control means, if you have decided to sweep, if you have decided to do a project, if you have decided to talk, all that is under your control. Meaning you know how to do, what not to that extent you can do. As soon as the action is over, the result will come. And when the result comes, with what mental equanimity you receive the result shows whether you have dedicated your actions to God or not. Are you able to follow? Ram Subramaniam. With what result? Some result will come to you. And the result that comes to you will be appropriate and justful. Based on this, only we keep making the statement. There is no such thing called injustice at all. Yeah, we are not going to agree to this statement. That's a different story. That's our problem. We will not accept it. We will say, no, sir, there are injustice. You do not know it. You are all so naive. You are all so dumb. You all don't understand the real life. We understand real life. There is injustice. And then you will give 100 million newspaper clippings. 100 million newspaper clippings you will give, 100 million WhatsApp forward you will give, showing me, telling me that what you are talking is not right, sir. You just want to be polite. You don't want to use the wrong word, so you just want to be polite and say, he turns back and says, there is no, what is offering to God means, what is karma yoga means? When you are doing an action, you are doing an action to God. And because you have done the action to God, God will give you a result. With what mental state you are receiving the result shows whether you have dedicated your actions to God or not, which is called karma yoga. So karma yoga is dedicating actions to, and we have seen this any number of times. Offer, dedicate your actions to God, dedicate your actions to God. Well, we understand dedicating actions to God as doing archana, we understand as dedication. Doing puja, we understand as dedication. Doing chanting, we understand as dedication. What is sweeping and cooking and doing a project and talking dedication to God means? Are you able to follow? So what is karma yoga? What is karma yoga? In one statement, everything is his, everything is him. What is karma yoga? Karma yoga is no injustice. Karma yoga means no injustice, which requires a lot of study, reflection, practices, etc. to understand it. It's not a theoretical concept that you can understand. That's why I said a few minutes back, you will give me 100 million instances. This happened to 5-year-old child. What happens to Air India? Air crash. What did they do? You follow? What did they do? At any given point in time, you only know your action. You do not know your background. You do not. But law of karma gives results according to what? According to your current action plus background. So Karma Yoga tells you what? Background you can never know. Instead of worrying about that which can never be known, put your entire energies on what you can know, which is the current action. Put your heart and soul into the current action and do it. Ramatirtha. Perform actions like how a bee stings. He says, perform action like how a bee stings. In that sting, it gives this life away. That's Karma Yoga. So, Karma Yoga revolves around the principle of what? The law of karma itself, dharma itself revolve around the principle of if everything is him, carefully follow. If everything is him, how can there be any injustice? If there is injustice means some part of the world is not him, no. Then bhakti goes out. If you say some part of, no, sir, God and all is there, but restricted only to one place and one temple and one place only. Rest of the places and all, there is no such thing called God. And there's going to be problems all the time. Therefore, how does it work? Are you able to follow? So if you are, so the understanding of karma is no injustice. The moment you understand that there's no injustice, what happens? There is an inner strength. There is that mental strength. What with the inner strength is nothing but the mental strength of not going through the fluctuations. Is it okay? Dedicating is nothing but a particular attitude. Dedicating actions to God means dedication is nothing but an attitude. The Sanskrit word for attitude is bhavana. Bhava. With what bhavana you do it. What's the English translation is attitude. The Sanskrit word is bhava. Bhava means your entire emotions is flowing in that. That is bhava. Your entire emotions is flowing in that direction and there is no conflicting emotion at all. That is called bhava. When you say do it with bhava means what? One part of you wants to do it, another part of you is irritated doing it. It means you are split in doing. What is bhava now? Bhava means that split isn't there. Are you able to follow? This is called dedicating actions to. So it's a mental bhava of all your actions is going to God. All your actions are going to God. And what will God do? He will ensure that the appropriate result comes to me. The appropriate result at the right time, at the right place, in the right manner will come to me, which is difficult to understand. That's where bhakti comes in. What is bhakti now? Surrendering to that unknown. What is unknown? Your own backdrop is unknown. Unknown doesn't mean about the world. Unknown means you do not know your own background, your own background. Is it okay? Ram Subramaniam. சரியா? Next clarification. Clarification. Context. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 6. You mentioned acting in accordance with dharma is called dedicating actions to me. Questions. Is renouncing all actions in me the same as dedicating all actions to me? Or are they different? In some context, dedicating and renouncing will be used synonymously. In some context, it will be used differently. Again, in some context, it will be used very synonymously, because most of the discourses being a free flow talk, words will be used very synonymously. So in some cases, renouncing and dedicating will be the same. In some cases, renouncing and dedicating will be different. To have the clarity in your head, remember this. Dedicating is karma yoga, renunciation is sannyasa yoga, jnana yoga. Always have this clarity in mind. And then you fit it in according to what the thought flow goes. Are you able to follow? In some context, it will be the same. In some context, it will be different. If you want to understand the difference, understand dedicating means karma yoga, renouncing means sannyasa yoga. Later on, he's going to talk about it. Karma pala tyaga and renouncing the karma itself and renouncing the karma pala tyaga. There's going to be gradations that we are going to discuss later. But for all purposes, understand it like this. In some context, it is different. In some context, it will be used as the same. In the context of verse number 6, it is used in the sense of renouncing, is used in the sense of dedicating. You follow? Next clarification, Gatunga. Is there a relationship between dharma and karma yoga? Clarification. Is there a relationship between dharma and karma yoga? Do they mean the same thing or are they different? How exactly are dharma and karma yoga related? Dharma and karma yoga, there is a relationship. What is the relationship? As I explained just now, dharma is the law that functions. Dharma is that impartial law. Again, dharma means an impartial law. Now, if I have to perform karma yoga, if I need to shift from karma to karma yoga, I need the knowledge of dharma. Without the knowledge of dharma, karma cannot be converted into karma yoga. That's where that is the relationship. Why? Because karma is governed by the law of cause and effect, what we call as dharma. Therefore, practice of karma yoga is directly related to your conviction on dharma. How much you are convinced about dharma, to that extent you will be able to practice karma yoga, because it's the law and you are so convinced that it is the law that is working, and and all that you need to do is keep your actions according to the law. Are you able to follow? To explain it clearly, which is what the entire chapter 12 or the entire Vedantic scripture itself is, there are 5 steps as to how one can prepare. There are 5 steps. Step number 1 is karma yoga. Karma yoga itself is divided into level 1, level 2. Step number 2 is bhakti yoga. In the Vedantic sense, I use the word upasana yoga. Upasana yoga itself is level 1 and level 2. So, mastering that level 1 and level 2 of karma and bhakti, which is 2 plus 2 equals 4, prepares you for the 5th step, which is jnana yoga. to do all this, you must have a conviction in dharma. Are you able to follow the sequence? To do all this, you must have a conviction in dharma, because without a conviction in dharma, you can never venture into all these things. Without conviction in dharma, if you venture into jnana yoga, what will happen? If you come to step 5 directly, what will happen? You will become more and more of a Rakshasa only. In the name of spiritual path, you will become a ordinary Rakshasa and spiritual Rakshasa. And ordinary Rakshasas are much better. Spiritual Rakshasas are you, Narayana. God only has to save the world from them. Yeah. God will know how to take care of them. And God has to save us from them, because getting into that 5th stage directly makes the person a terrible. Are you able to follow? Now, what is Karma Yoga level number 1? The Karma Yoga level number 1 is Sakama Karma in a dharmic way. It is Karma Yoga level number 1. Fulfilling your Sakama Karma means fulfilling your Swa Upakara Karma guided by Dharma. That is Karma Yoga level number 1. Swa Upakara Karma. Because I have used the word Swa Upakara Karma as Karma Yoga level number 1, automatically you will know what is Karma Yoga level number 2 now. What is Karma Yoga level number 2 now? Paropakara Nishkama Karma. So Karma Yoga level number 1 is Sakama Karma without Akrama. Yeah. Ram Subramaniam, புரியுதா? அக்கிரமம் பண்ணாம desire fulfill பண்ணிக்கிட்டாலே, that is Karma Yoga level number 1. Because you started to follow the krama, you started to follow a law there. And that itself will guide you to the next level of growth. That itself will graduate you to the next level of growth. What is the next level of growth? Swaupakara lendu paropakara. Paropakara means take into consideration others, all that comes into factors there. It is very good, but why can't a person just keep doing this? Why does Upasana Bhakti Yoga has to come in? Why does Bhakti Yoga has to come in now? Because logically it looks a person can keep doing this. No. All that you do is what? From Swapakara become Paropakara. From Sakama turn into Nishkama. Why bring in an entity called God? Unnecessarily. Therefore, in the modern day context, what people do, they will talk about Nishkama Karma, Karma Yoga, and jump straight to Jnana. And then they come back and say, nothing is happening, sir. Anger is still there, frustration is still there, everything is still there. Why am I still getting attached? Why am I going through all these problems? Why? Because the second intermediate step is missed. That's the entire 7 to 12 discussion itself is that. Chapter 7 to 12 Bhakti Yoga itself, we are discussing only that. In order to bring in God, you need to understand what is the difficulty or what is the limitation of Karma Yoga level 1 and level 2. Karma Yoga level 1 and level 2 is still Bahirmukha, extroverted. For karma means it is extroverted by nature. In order to turn spiritual, in order to evolve spiritually from introverted, from Bahirmukha, you have to turn Antarmukha, introvert. From extrovert, you have to turn introvert. Why? Because Jnana Yoga wants you to do the ultimate Jnana Yoga wants you to do the ultimate inquiry, which needs tremendous introversion. From where would you get it? Karma Yoga makes you to go out. You go out, you go out, you go out, and then one day suddenly you will become introvert? No. Therefore, Upasana, Bhakti Yoga becomes a very, very important turn. Therefore, what do? We bring in the Upasana Yoga, which is Bhakti Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, what is introduced? The law is introduced as God. The law is introduced as God. And why that law has to be introduced as God? Because as a human being, we all need emotional relationship, emotional stability. We need that. As a human being, we all need emotion. We all need emotion relationship. And emotion relationship means we all need at least one stable emotional relationship. At least one stable emotional relationship. That's why we say at least ஒருத்தராவது இருக்கணும் sir. At least I need that one single person. At least my child, at least my husband, at least my parents. Some emotional, we all need one stable emotional relationship so that introversion is possible. This is where Vedas are so beautiful. By introducing God, it says, find that emotional stability in your relationship with God. Are you able to follow? It's, I tell you, I can talk about it again and again and again, and every time I talk about it, something new is getting revealed. Yeah, so beautiful it is. Otherwise, see, Karma Yoga is external relationship, perform according to the actions, results will come, all that is there. But what about the emotional part, where we all need a stable, we all need emotional relationship, and in that emotional relationship we can have very many relationships, but we all need at least one stable relationship. In order to have a stable relationship, you should know how to relate to that one stable entity. Supposing you want a stable relationship from an entity which by itself is unstable, what will happen? Ram Subramaniam, sequence purida. You want a stable relationship and you are dependent on something that which is unstable. What will happen? You are always in a disturbed state. So Karma Yoga you are doing, lot of Punya Karma you are getting. But what happens? This Bhakti is, why? Because Bhakti is a stable emotional relationship. It presupposes what? You are unstable, but at least the one that you are relating to must be stable. Therefore, the law gets converted into God. It's a beautiful shift. Venkatachalam, are you able to follow the shift? People not understanding this, they say, oh, I don't believe in this God and all this is not very, I don't belong to this category, sir. I belong to a different category. I don't belong to this category. That doesn't matter. One day you will belong to, one day you will come to this category. Few knocks and socks are necessary to come to this category. Therefore, you make an effort to build a stable relationship with that which is there, which is stable. Therefore, what do? The law gets converted into God. And then it is of two levels now. And that God is of two levels. What are the two levels of God? Which we have seen already. Ekarupa, Anekarupa. Level number 2, Vishwarupa. First is Ekarupa. First learn to learn to direct your emotion to a stable in Eka Rupa. Eka Rupa means God in a specific form, God in a specific place. Learn to worship that first. Don't try to fly before you learn how to crawl. But everybody wants to fly. இல்ல crawling in ஒழுங்கா வரல. அதுக்குள்ள we all want to fly. Intelligence will tell you fly, fly, fly. And the ego gets very excited and it starts thinking that it can fly. And then it tries to fly. Remember Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. You will fly very high. But where is your? You will be like the vulture flying very high. And where is your focus? On the rotten flesh. Therefore, what do they do? Bhakti Yoga brings a beautiful change. What is the beautiful change that Bhakti bring? The law gets converted into God. Therefore, what is the definition of God in Bhakti Yoga, Upasana Yoga? Karma Pala Data. Therefore, God is known as Karma Pala Data. And when he gives Karma Pala Data, he will give it appropriately, justfully, without having any personal preferences, whims and fancies. My devotee, it's okay. Not my devotee. Okay. Worshipping opponent to God. Rama decides, worshipping me, full result. Worshipping Krishna, half result. Worshipping Allah, Narakama. Are you able to follow? So, in the Ekarupa, you understand what it is. It is Karma Pala. So, God becomes, the definition of God becomes Karma Pala Data. And for emotions to flow, you need a form. For emotions to flow, you need a form. Therefore, what happens? A form is given to God. Eka Rupa. And that Eka Rupa is called Rama, Krishna, Ishtadevata. And then associated practices. Then what happens? You have learned to direct all your emotions to where, whenever you want stable, you will be relating to everybody in the world. But whenever you require stability, where will you go? You will relate to everybody in the world because you are doing actions. Because you are doing actions, you will be relating with everybody in the world. But stable, whenever you require stability, where will you go to? Whenever stability is required, Mailapur, Kapalishwar Koil pe ukandukanu, isn't it? Yeah, go and sit in the Kapalishwar temple or go and sit in some temple. Doesn't matter, sit. And then comes the maturity. What is the maturity? Aneka Rupa. It's not only in one form, it is in many forms. And then comes not only in many forms, it is in every form. You have gotten qualified for Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yogyata has come. To that person who has gotten this Jnana Yogyata, what is called as law, what is called as Ekarupa, Aneka Rupa, Vishwarupa, in Jnana Yoga, it will be called as Nirguna Brahman. Upanishad will talk about Nirguna Brahman. That is Jnana Yoga. You follow? So, in order to come to Nirguna Brahman, you must have an affinity to God, Karma Yoga, all this should have been done. Without doing any of these things, if you come to the Upanishad will make no sense. Why? Because Upanishad is inquiry about Nirguna Brahman. And then you do the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Jnana Yoga level 1, level 2 lang kadaiyadhu. There's only one there. There is no Jnana Yoga level 1, Jnana Yoga level 2. Are you able to follow? You attain, and then you do the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, etc. What is called as law, what is called as Saguna, Ishvara, Karma Paladata, what is known as Brahman in the Upanishad. In self-realization, you will understand all this is you. This is Vedanta. Vedanta, this is. Are you able to follow? This is the entire, this is how it goes. Sequentially. Nowadays, what happened? We don't believe in Krama, we believe in, if you don't believe in Krama, Kalatur. If you don't believe in Krama, what are you believing in? Akrama, correct. Akrama. What is Akrama? Upanishad, Jnana Yoga, Padikiradu, Karma Yoga, Vedayadu, no Bhakti Yoga at all. And then people come and say, nothing is happening, nothing is happening. Nothing will happen. Are you able to follow? This is how you need to understand the entire sequence. Jnana Yoga is the fifth and final stage. Now the steps comes. If the fifth step is difficult, go to, if the fifth step is difficult, go to fourth step. Fourth step is difficult, go to third step. Third step is difficult, go to second. If second step is difficult, go to first step. Sir, first step is difficult, na? Naraka, and Naraka will wake you up to come to step number 1. That's all it is. Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow? See, this is how the sequence, this is how the sequence goes. This you should remember as the formula. In a classroom, words will be used so interchangeably. Once you know this entire formula, you will know how words are used so interchangeably, but this is the concept that is discussed. Why I gave this entire formula is because you understand these steps, and then you know words will be used interchangeably, and whenever the words are used interchangeably, there will not be a confusion. Are you able to follow? Is it okay till now? Yeah, it's a very interesting understanding of how step by step it goes. Why I am talking about the steps is because in chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, he is talking about steps. Therefore, the explanation is given in the context of steps. It's not only Bhagavad Gita, it is called Prasthana Traya. The very sequence itself is called the steps. Step. You can't go up and down the steps. One day I feel like jumping into fifth step. Oh, I will be in fifth step today, sir. Oh, fifth step is boring. I got bored with step 5. Now I'll come to step number 2. You don't do chivda like that. You don't keep mixing it up like that. Go through the krama. Next clarification, Gatunga. What does it mean? Regard me as supreme and to meditate upon me with single-pointed devotion. Eka Bhakti Yoga. What does it mean? Regarding me as supreme and to meditate upon me with single-pointed devotion. Now, regarding me as supreme will be the Karma Yoga, where you keep God as the goal, etc., and practice. Meditating on me with single-pointed devotion can be equated to dhyana meditation. That sound silent state. You can, that's how the grades gets explained. So what in Bhagavad Gita Krishna does, he keeps interchanging. He keeps interchanging terminologies. Why he keeps interchanging terminologies? Because when you are presenting a thesis paper, it can be very clear. Because 3 years you are taking word by word, sentence by sentence. You are now Upanishads or the Bhagavad Gita are not thesis paper presentations. They are a free flow discussion. In that free flow discussions, words will be used interchangeably. Like in chapter 2, now that I taught you Sankhya Yoga, I will teach you Buddhi Yoga, he says. In verse number 39 of chapter 2, he says, now I will introduce Buddhi Yoga. We have heard Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. What is this? Buddhi Yoga now. Then it's Buddhi Yoga is Karma Yoga. So, but by Buddhi Yoga, what he means is Karma Yoga. How do you justify that interpretation? By following the next 10, 12 verses, that Buddhi Yoga is Karma Yoga gets explained. Are you able to follow? Elsewhere, he will say Yogi is the best. And elsewhere, he will say Jnani is the best. Elsewhere, he will say Sannyasi is the best. Elsewhere, he will say Sannyasi are all hypocrites. By the time we come to the 18th chapter, we will feel like asking Krishna, forget about we don't understand. At least you understand what you are saying. No. At least you have a clarity about what you are saying. No, because you are just. So, understand scriptures are not thesis papers. Scriptures are free flowing discussion in the backdrop of devotion. In the backdrop of devotion, discussion is happening. Therefore, what happens? Because it is happening in the backdrop of devotion, the other person is able to understand what is implied. Are you able to follow? So it works. Any other clarification? Clarification. I heard the example of going to the Prime Minister and not asking for low-level favors such as booking a train ticket. Correct. It would be better to evolve into higher levels of favors to the point where we go from Sakama Bhakti to Nishkama Bhakti. Stretching the metaphor. If the Prime Minister was my father or close relative, I would ask for the train ticket and also higher level favors. If God is everything, then couldn't we do the same? Similarly, could we do Sakama Bhakti and Nishkama Bhakti simultaneously, or that's not possible? What is Amit saying is, ask for a train ticket, ask for train, ask for railway minister portfolio also, because Prime Minister can give everything, no? So, can't we do Sakama Bhakti and ask? Amit, answer. Again, instead of asking favors from the world, learn to ask favor from God. First to do that. If you are not asking favor from God, whom are you asking for favor? From the world. Instead of begging from the world, better to beg God. Gradations. Are you able to understand? Don't stretch the metaphor. I'm explaining the concept. I'm not stretching the metaphor. Because if you stretch the metaphor, it will be very upset. But I'm explaining the concept. What is the concept? Are we in a position of asking or are we in a position of giving? What are we in a position today? We believe we are the giver, but in reality, we are the giver opposite? Giver opposite taker. Ram Subramaniam. Giver opposite enna? Taker கிடையாது. அது linguistic opposite. Beggar. Correct. If you are not a giver, you are beggar. Begging at what? Make me happy. Make me happy. Keep me happy. Why don't you keep me happy? How much I have done to you? Why don't you give one smile, and that smile will make me happy? Beggary it is. Correct? Yes or no? Instead of doing that to the world which can't do any of this, develop a stable relationship with God. When you are developing a stable relationship with God, in the initial stages, what will you do? Naturally, you will ask. Naturally, you'll go and ask God. And God will tell you what? God will tell you what? I am not the Kama Paladata, I am the Karma Paladata. God will tell you what? I am not a Kama Paladata. Kama Paladata means whatsoever you wish, that's called Kama Paladata. Whatsoever you wish, it will be given. Now God says, I am not Kama Paladata, I am Karma Paladata. Therefore, you need not beg at all. Why do you have to reduce yourself as a beggar to me? Stop begging from the rest. And why are you even begging to me? Why? Because by begging to me, nothing is going to happen. By doing Pada Puja and Abhishekam to the math teacher, you will not learn mathematics. Correct? Yeah. All my English is broken English. I will see Usha ma'am, do Pada Puja. And I get, and I will know English. Usha ma'am will tell me, get up. Don't do all these silly things. Get up. Go and learn what is noun first. Yeah, nounukum verbukume வித்தியாசம் தெரியாம you are talking. Not even so, go and do that first. Are you able to follow? Instead of begging, what you do? You don't have to beg. You think that by doing Patha Puja, you will learn mathematics? But no. Then what you do? Study. Write the exam. After writing the exam, come to me and tell me what? I have done my part. Now you take control. Now in this stage, you will stop asking. That is Nishkama Bhakti. Are you able to understand, Amit? So in this stage, it is Nishkama Bhakti. So Sakama Bhakti will happen at one stage. It's an inevitable step. You cannot avoid that step. In order to avoid begging from the world, better to at least guarantee something will happen, isn't it? Are you able to follow? Therefore, Nishkama Bhakti, Sakama Bhakti is just as level number 1, level number 2 in Karma Yoga. Sakama Karma is allowed at level number 1. Sakama Karma is dismissed at level number 2. Similarly, Sakama Bhakti is allowed at level number 1 and Sakama Bhakti is dismissed at level number 2. In order to dismiss something, you should master it first. Don't dismiss without mastering. If you have to graduate to the higher levels, you need to pass the lower level. So Sakama Bhakti, just as Sakama Karma is allowed at one stage and dismissed at another stage, Sakama Bhakti is also allowed at one stage and dismissed at another stage. Therefore, it is not completely prohibited, nor is it entirely told you to do. You do it at one stage and drop it at another stage. Just as you go to school at one stage, you graduate and drop the school at another stage. You go to undergraduate at one stage, you pass, and then you come to postgraduate. This sequence you must understand very clearly and don't get mixed up with everything. That's why I said 10-15 minutes back also, the problem of today is our knowledge is so akrama knowledge. Akrama knowledge means the sequence and all is so mixed up. Why the sequence got so mixed up? We hear something from here, we hear something from there, and then we hear something from here, and then we put everything and ask ChatGPT to, and then we ask ChatGPT to sequence. Narayana, what to do now? What to do now? Are you able to follow, Amit? So, now the metaphor. If you know Prime Minister, if you know the Prime Minister, at the initial level, you will be so tempted to use the Prime Minister for. See, in the initial stages, you will be so tempted to use the Prime Minister for petty things. Yes, it will be. It is natural. After 2-3 times, you understand what is that? What is the power of that person, and what am I going and asking? That maturity comes. So remember, yesterday I said 1,000 fall will happen. Character builds through. Yesterday I said that. You remember? Character builds through. Great work requires great effort and consistent effort. Falls will happen. Vedas, in their compassion, will not call it as a fall. Vedas, in their compassion, says these are all stepping stones. Don't treat it as a fall. These are all stepping stones. Each and every fall is not a fall. There is no such thing called fall at all. It is a stepping stone. Why? Because it is in the nature of things that we will fall. Tremendous difficulties will arise. The selfishness and all the associated rakshasas in the human heart will struggle to let go, will struggle to leave. Jnanagni dagda karmanaha. He says, the fire of Jnana Agni will burn everything, he says. Jnana Agni Dagda, this fire of Jnana Agni will burn everything. But for that Jnana Agni to burn everything, the road is what? The road is roughest and the road is steepest. Because the road is roughest and steepest, it's a wonder how many succeed. No wonder that many fall. It's a wonder how a few succeed. And it's no wonder that how many. Character has to be established through 1,000 stumbles. Then only character gets established. It's that inner strength requires that much of effort. So what do you do, Amit? What will happen? Whenever you get access to anything higher, the temptation will be to immediately cache it, use it. Whenever you have access to anything higher, bigger, temptation is to immediately use it. Few times you will do it. And the Vedas understands it, because the Vedas means the rishis, the great sages understands it. How they are able to understand it? Because they know that they also have gone through the same thing. Remember, in the Guru Purnima, we said that the Guru of today was the Shishya yesterday. It means the Shishya of today will become a Guru. So the Guru has a long path to look back. The Guru always has a long path to look back. What is the long path the Guru has to look back? 1,000 stumbles, 1,000 falls, picked oneself up and grown brick by brick. From Sakama Bhakti, you evolve to Nishkama Bhakti, you will fall a few times. From Sakama Karma, you will evolve to Nishkama Karma, you will fall a few times. You follow? Therefore, the Shastras don't deny that. The Shastras will not eliminate that. The Shastras always help us to see it as a, not as a fall, but as a stepping stone. Is it okay? Clarification. Divya, how do we know we are progressing in Bhakti Yoga? How do we know we are progressing in Bhakti Yoga? Just wait till we finish up to verse number 20. All the possible indicators you will know. He's going to start now. He's going to start now. If you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, do this. If you can't do this, do this. He's going to give all the progressive steps, and then all possible indicators of Bhakti Yoga he's going to give. So, I request some patience. But sir, the way that you are dragging, when will you finish verse number 20? And when will I learn all this? That is Divya's problem. I am waiting, sir, but the way that you looks like you are not even starting. Wait, wait. Don't worry. From verse number 8 onwards, we are going to start giving indicators. And I'll keep telling, this is one indicator, this is one indicator, this is one indicators. And at the end of it, you would have found how some indicators of it is already being practiced. That's how you develop conviction. When you hear all these indicators, you know that you are not zero. Some indicators is being practiced and followed. You will know that. Based on that, you will gather further conviction to move upwards. It's not zero. That's why so many indicators is going to give. Is it okay? இப்போ நம்ம எந்த வருஷம் படிக்கணும்? 7. Oh, இருங்கோ. Yeah. One clarification here. Divya, they are not allowing. Yes, தமிழ்லயே சொல்லுங்க. It's okay.
தனக்குள்ளே இருத்தல் தானாக means சரி தனக்குள்ளே இருக்க means அந்த நிதித்தியாசனம் இதுவே is both a sequential or based on sadhana's level or how.
The clarification that she's asking is in relation to Jnana Yoga. Two statements. One is be where you belong to. Statement number 2, be as you are. These are the two statements. Sit where you belong to. Adu tanaga. That is the place you belong to. Statement number 1 is be where you belong to. Second statement is be as you are. Where you belong to? Where do you belong to? You belong to God. You belong to God. Look inside to understand that you are God. What is meant by look inside to understand that you are God? Because if you look inside, where will you look? You can't look into the. If you look inside, physically you can look inside. Up to heart, spine you can go and then you will come out. Physically. Then you can look at yourself as the gross body, subtle body, causal body distinctions, the pancha koshas distinctions, all that you can see where you are, and then you go on negating. God is your inner self, means God doesn't have a specific location in your inner self. God is your inner self will give a wrong meaning. What is the wrong implication it will give? There is a special location and you have to focus on that location. It's in the core of the heart. Nihitam guhayam. The Upanishad itself says. Therefore, now core of the heart, where will you go and see? So what it meant is, in God is in, see God inside of you is a figurative way, not a location. What is figurative way means? God is inside of you means in every part of you, God is. In every part of you, God is. There is only God. That's how you understand. Looking for God, search God inside became a very big problematic statement. Because, first of all, we don't understand God doesn't have a location. First of all, we don't understand consciousness doesn't have a location. God doesn't have a location. Correct? If God has a location, then it is easy to find out. It is so difficult to find out because there is no specific location. God is. Not only there is no specific location, God is, He is there everywhere. So God inside could mean two things. God inside could mean the adhishtanam is the God, the screen upon which all the white screen upon which all the drama happens. In that sense, it is one meaning is inner. Another meaning of inner is gold is the innermost core of ornament. Clay is the innermost core of pot. Are you able to understand the statement? Gold is the innermost core of ornament. It means ornament has two things. What is the two things? One aspect of gold without Nama Rupa, another aspect of gold with Nama Rupa. Again, one aspect of gold is without Nama Rupa, another aspect of gold with Nama Rupa. Okay, till now? Now, that aspect of gold without Nama Rupa is what has appeared as the gold with Nama Rupa. It means what? There is only, it means what? There is only gold. It means there is only gold. அங்க ரெண்டு கிடையவே கிடையாது. That's why it's called Advayam. It's called Advaitam. There are no two. There are no two means there is no Nama Rupa gold and then there is no Nama Rupa gold and then the innermost core gold. There is no Nama Rupa clay and the innermost core clay. It means there is only one thing. What? Clay as pot, clay without the pot. Gold as in ornament, gold without the ornament. All this repetition is called Nididhyasana. All this you repeat again and again and again as in the Nididhyasana. So wherever these statements are made, God is inside of you. God is the innermost core of you. Inside of you means linguistically you can misunderstand it as somewhere it is located inside of you, and then you will try to find out where it is. No. You be in that. You be in that. In order for you to be in that, you should segregate the two. What is the segregation that should happen? That's what we study as Nitya Anitya Viveka Vicharam. Only by the continuous Nitya Anitya Viveka Vicharam, you can abide in you. So for you to go and abide in you, Nitya Anitya Viveka Vicharam should happen. What is Nitya Anitya Viveka Vicharam? The Nama Rupa part of the gold is Anityam. Gold per se is Nityam. The Nama Rupa part of the clay, which is the pot, is Anityam. Why it is Anityam? Because they come and go. It is Agama Payinaha, it is Anityaha. What is the definition of that? It is Agama Payinaha. They come and go. It is Anityaha, temporary. Because anything that comes and goes is temporary. Are you able to follow? It is temporary. Therefore, you are abiding in the self means what? Karpagam as a person is not abiding in Brahman. Again, Karpagam as a person cannot abide in Brahman. Karpagam as a jiva cannot abide in Brahman. So what is Karpagam abiding in Brahman means? I am not Karpagam. Karpagam abides in me. Divya, are you able to follow the difference? It is not Karpagam abiding in Brahman. It is in Brahman, Karpagam is abiding. அப்படின்னா only Karpagam alone, na? Exclusivity, yeah? Exclusivity, only Ram Subramaniam alone is abiding in Brahman. Is Amit alone abiding in Brahman? Is Karpagam alone abiding in Brahman? No. Whatsoever is there is Brahman. Whatsoever is there is Brahman. Therefore, abiding in Brahman means I claim the status that I am Brahman, and this body, mind, intellect, the three sharirams, the panchakosham, all that is what? All that is the temporary form of me. It's a temporary form of me. Just as the bangle is, the gold says, what is the gold saying? The gold look at the bangle and says, bangle is the temporary form of me. But I am not only bangle. For I can be, for I can accommodate. I can accommodate all names and forms. Why I can accommodate all names and forms? Why I can accommodate all names and forms? Because I don't have any name and form. If I have a name and form, I will be stuck in that name and form and I cannot accommodate any other names and forms. I can accommodate all names and forms because I don't have a name and form. Water can accommodate all tastes because water doesn't have a. Water is defined as colorless, tasteless, odorless liquid. Therefore, everything can get added to water. Are you able to follow? So, abiding in Brahman means the individual is not abiding in Brahman. That individual is one amsa, a part of the bangle is a part of the gold. It can come and go. It can come and are you able to follow? Therefore, all these elaborations you do in Shravana and Manana, and you are convinced about all these things. Samshayam, all samshayam is gone. When all samshayam is gone, when all doubts are cut asunder, you stay put in this knowledge. That is called Nididhyasana. But still you are practicing only. You have not yet become Nididhyasana. Up to this we can understand logically. From Nididhyasana to actual experience, God only knows. Even here in this previous verses, he said, very soon I will grant you, he says. Very soon I will grant you. And what is that very soon? Is like our class very soon, isn't it? Like our class very soon. எப்போ முடியும்னு தெரியவே மாட்டேன்றது. You follow? Is it okay? Yeah. With this, we conclude for today and we continue with the verses next week.